Near-Midair at LAX. Sound familiar? Well, this one got real close. They have those parallel runways in there at LAX, and it's a formula. Let's take a look at how close this one got.
Tower 621 Heavy, 123011, are now to Delray, runway 24 left, clear for takeoff.
Okay, hold on to that right there. The first player is ITA. That's the call sign that they use. It's actually ITA Airways. I think the official name is Italia Transporto Aero. It used to be the old Alitalia, right? But they're a new airline now. They've got a beautiful paint job. They're the most beautiful airplanes to look at. But they're clear for takeoff, and the tower gives them instruction to verify what RNAV departure sequence they're going to fly. So he says to them, first of all, RNAV Delray. That's not the departure. They're actually on the dots to RNAV departure. It has a whole separate name, but that's all of the points they're going to fly are the dots to. The very first point off the end of the runway is called Delray. And he says RNAV to Delray. The aircraft now should read back Roger, RNAV to Delray, letting them know they've got the RNAV departure that flies over Delray in the computer. They have to verify all of that. It used to be that they required the pilots to say it first, and then the tower would read it back. So the pilots, when they got cleared into position, would say, you know, American 123, RNAV to Delray. I would have to say that as the pilot broadcasting, and then the tower would say, Roger, you know, RNAV to Delray. They would verify it for us, and we knew we were on the same page. They just flip-flopped it these days, but the problem with it is it's easy to parrot back what's being said. These guys don't even parrot it back. Listen carefully to what they say. They're supposed to say RNAV to Delray. Listen to what they say.
Clear for takeoff, runway 24 left, climb Delray, Tower 621 Heavy.
They say climb Delray. That's not a word-for-word acknowledgement. He thinks he's climbing to Delray. I'm not sure what got lost in translation here, but the tower should have caught that at this point and said, no, no, no. RNAV Delray. You got the dots to RNAV departure. Your first point's Delray. Oh, yep. Oh, okay. They might have trapped an error here. It's going to show up here in just a second because these guys are going to take off and they're not going to make it to Delray. Watch.
American 4 with 3011, RNAV Doctor, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear takeoff 25 right, RNAV to Doctor, American 4.
So now American is on the south side of the airport, and they read it back correctly. They read back RNAV to Docker. So they're on the same dots to departure, but they're going to do it off the south runways. They're going to cut a much tighter turn when they go over Docker and then out to the east. The ITA flight on the north runways, they're going to go much farther out, but they got to fly over Delray. So the guys on the north, the Italians, are already on the roll. The American Airlines flight has just been cleared for takeoff, but they read it back properly, and the tower didn't catch the Italian flight, got it wrong. Let's see what happens next. So now they're cleared, and I'll show you here the departure and what it looks like. The Italian aircraft is supposed to fly over Delray and then go out to Eni and then to Nank and then start heading south all the way around to PV and out to Dots. The American 4 is supposed to go to Docker, then Weiler, then on the shaft, then to PV, then out to Dots, and off they go. And everybody stays far away from everybody else. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're looking at supposedly in front of them. And that's supposedly what they acknowledged was loaded in their computer. Is it?
American 10 seconds out of party, have a good day.
Departure today, American 4, inform.
Hey, American's been switched over to SoCal departure.
Tower 621 Heavy, contact SoCal departure.
SoCal departure, Tower 621 Heavy.
Okay, so now both airplanes have been handed off to SoCal departure. So this is the little snag in here, right? Because they both are now going heads down. They're dialing in the new frequency. Meanwhile, the Italian flight, ITA, is now turning away from Delray and right into the path of American Airlines 4. Fortunately, it was a clear day and everybody's got their head on a swivel. They can see outside, but they're turning right in and they're going to get real close. Switching frequencies. Now the tower calls him up. The tower sees it first. The tower says, "Hey, Itaro, are you still with me?" Right? He's already switched over the frequency, so it's too late for the tower to give him the warning. Hopefully, SoCal now sees it developing on their screen, and they call out right away. But right now, he's turning into that American flight. This is going to get close.
Sorry, good day, Tower 621 Heavy, passing 1000.
That's him. That's the Itaro flight checking now in with SoCal for the first time. What's Southern California going to tell him?
Terra 621 Heavy, SoCal departure radar contact, line be accept maintain 2000.
He doesn't see it quite yet developing, not like the tower did. Now he's turning into the path of American. SoCal doesn't see it quite yet. He's going to call him back in a minute.
2000, maintain, we are looking.
Terra 621 Heavy, turn right, heading 270 immediately.
Immediately. Whenever you hear that word immediately, you're in trouble, because it means you're in the path of another aircraft. So SoCal, there's a little bit of anticipation bias here. They're expecting them, almost like the GPS you use in your car. It's expecting you to go someplace, and when you deviate from that, it takes a second or two to go, oh, hold on, we're not going there. I thought we were going here. No, we're going there. All right, recalculating, right, that sort of thing. The air traffic controller, he's expecting him to go over Delray, and now he's looking at it going, oh, he's not. Okay. Turn to 270, turn west immediately. I need you to get you out of the path of American. What's going on with American right now?
270, Tower 621.
American 4, traffic, stop your altitude climb.
Okay. So now she sees it, and she says to them, stop your altitude climb, because she sees Itaro going over top of them. So she's going to say, just stay at 1,500 feet right now. That's easier said than done.
American 4, traffic heading to your left, 1 mile, climbing out of 1,500, heavy Airbus 330, Carson Lake turbulent.
We'll be right back, but first, a quick word from our sponsor. This time of year, everybody's loading up for the holidays. Gifts, food, luggage, dog, kids. Honestly, packing for the family road trip feels more complicated than planning a cross-country flight. And between the fuel stops, grocery runs, last-minute takeouts, and that quick detour to pick up pie, your wallet starts taking a beating. So here's how I manage my holiday fuel load. I use the Upside app. It's a free app that gets you cash back on everyday stuff like gas, groceries, and dining. There are more than 100,000 gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants on Upside, so cash back is always just around the corner. Here's how I use it. Before I fill up, I check the app. I claim an offer. I pay like normal with a credit card or debit card, follow the steps in the app, and I get paid. No confusing points, no coupons, no store credits. People can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside than any other product, including loyalty programs and credit card rewards. And users earn over $1 million in cash back every week. Upside has given back $1 billion to its users. To find out how much you can earn, download the free Upside app and use promo code Steeeve to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code Steeeve. Holiday mission complete. Taxi when ready. And thanks to Upside for sponsoring today's video. Sponsors like this help us to make more content for you. That's a 330.
Good afternoon, American 4 with you, 1,500 climbing, 5,000. We have traffic inside.
American 4, thank you.
Okay, so far they look like...
Stop your climb, 1,500.
Okay, so now that's probably the supervisor. You hear two different voices, right? They're both looking at the same thing. The Italian flight, Itaro, is just cutting right in front of him. He says, American, stop at 1,500. Now, you can't just stop on a dime, right? When you're climbing up, you got to... If you're right at 1,500 feet, you're going to bounce through it a little bit, and then you're going to come back down. You want to make sure you don't hurt anybody in the back of the airplane, so you got to do that smoothly. So it's not like you just grab the yoke and stop right there at 1,500 feet. You'll hurt people in the back of the airplane. So again, the Americans got to do what they got to do. But the American guys here, the American pilots, their heads up. They got their heads on a swivel. They're looking outside. They've seen this Itaro flight the entire time.
Stop the climb, 1,500, American 4.
So they're going to level at 1,500.
270.
Tells them the second time to fly 270.
American 4, flighting 180.
180 heading, American 4.
Go south, go west. They're separating now the traffic manually.
Heavy, climb maintain 12,000.
Climb maintain 12,000, Tower 621.
American 4, climb maintain 12,000, 250 knots.
2,250 knots, American 4.
I guarantee it's real busy in that ITARO cockpit right now because they're trying to figure out what they did wrong because they know what's going on right now. So they're turning to 270. They complied. That's fine. They're now climbing up to 12,000 feet, but they're trying to figure out what happened. What could have happened? There's no way to know for certain, but it's very easy to put in the wrong departure and to just parrot back that RNAV to Delray confirmation after the tower tells you. You just say climb to Delray. Well, you should have said that. You should have said RNAV to Delray. It's easy to say that without having Delray in front of you. Or it's easy to think you're on the wrong runway. Like if they'd put the 25 right in as their departure runway, but they were actually on 24 left, then they would be following the same path and the same points as American 4, who is actually on 25 right. So their computer would turn them in quicker to go to Docker. That's where American's headed. You don't want to do that, but it's a simple mistake to make. That's why both pilots have to verify every point in the route and make sure it's the one that you were given for your flight plan. And then the last opportunity to trap that threat, if you put it in wrong, is when the tower says RNAV to Delray and you read back climb to Delray. You might just be saying that because you think you're supposed to, but you're not looking and verifying. A good experienced pilot will always look down and they'll verify what they've got in the box to make sure one last time that where that airplane is going to fly them is where they're cleared to fly legally. So on a runway with on an airport with parallel runways, they don't run into somebody else taking off at the same time. It's easy to do, and these guys got caught in the trap. Let's listen in.
Sierra 621 Heavy, fighting 230.
Heading 230, 6
Now he's going to manually start to bring him down to the south. He's a long ways away from American.
For you. Sorry about that. The traffic off the north side just turned to the south on their own right in front of you guys.
What does American say?
No worries. Appreciate it. We noticed that, American 4.
Oh, they were looking out.
And
They saw
Tower
him.
gave you guys a heads up too?
Nope.
No, not really. We just kind of saw him as soon as we climbed up.
Gotcha. Sierra 621 Heavy, you should have been runway heading there. Is there a reason you turned to the south?
Sorry, Itaro 621.
The answer is no. Sorry. That's good. It's a good answer. Sorry. There's not a real good answer. Who knows? Did they have the wrong departure in? Did they just turn too soon? Did they put the wrong runway in? Could have been any of those things. But now they know what's next, which is, you know what's coming, right?
United 1939, leaving 2000 for 5000, Docker.
1939 SoCal departure radar contact, climb VX at maintain 5,000.
Climb VX at maintain 5000, United 19.
Now, listen to United 1939. When they take off, they also repeat the point that they're headed to. That's a procedure. You didn't get that out of ITARO. And they should have repeated
39.
it even after departure.
SoCal departure, American 4. Any chance we can go direct TV?
4.35. American 4, direct to TV, departure 134.35.
3435, direct TV. Good day, American 4. Bye-bye.
Okay.
621 Heavy, turn left heading 130.
All right. So everybody's safe now.
621 Heavy,
Here it comes.
possible pilot deviation. I have a number for you to call. Let me know when you're ready to copy the number.
Number 1.
Why does he have him stand by? He's got to get a pen out. I don't fly around with a pen in my hand. So I got to find something to write with. And I grab a pen, and then here it comes.
Go ahead, Itaro 621.
Sierra 621 Heavy, it's 1858 537.
1858 537.
You.
So when's he going to call?
Heavy, LA Center 125.27.
All right. And so the flight after that is very uneventful. They get handed off to departure and then center, and off they go. They're not going to be able to call until they land. So it's going to be probably the next day before they make that phone call. But they're going to have to explain for what they did and why they did it and what the mistake was. And the whole point of this is not to to browbeat anybody or to penalize them or to make them feel bad. It's to learn from the mistake. What mistake did you make so we don't repeat that mistake tomorrow with another airplane? Or how are you going to disseminate that information to your own airline? Or what did you learn from this? Or what could the tower do better? I think if they went back to reversing it where the pilots had to say what RNAV departure they were on in the first point they were flying to, and the tower verified it, I think that would go better than the tower kind of with that anticipation bias saying, you know, RNAV to Delray, and then the pilots just repeat that, RNAV Delray, or climb Delray in this case. And there's no guarantee that they've verified it. I'd rather have the tower verify it than the pilot verify it. Yeah, I think it works out better that way. This one turned out well. They got really close to each other, but it wasn't a mid-air collision. It could have been heads up on the part of American 4 for just having their head on a swivel and looking outside the cockpit. Nobody told them to look, right? They did, but they were already switching frequencies. They did it on their own. The Italian airline turned quickly and complied. They knew that they had messed things up, and hopefully in the final forensic analysis of all of this, they'll go back and they'll figure out what they did wrong, and they won't do it again. That's how you learn, right? By experience sometimes, and every once in a while it gets that close, and it gets a little scary. LAX is one of those places where this can happen very easily. Don't ever turn into the path of a parallel runway where parallel runways are in effect. It's always the case at LAX. Hopefully the ITA crew learned their lesson on this one. Well, now you know. I'm Captain Steeve. Fly safe. So parallel runway operations and near mid-airs, well, it's not as uncommon as you think. It's happened quite a few times. Take a look at this, or maybe this.